Good morning.
Good morning.
Once again from the beautiful city of Fortaleza. Today we are at a cultural center that is called Dragão do Mar, which means the dragon of the sea.
Yes.
And what is the history?
So the name of this place is because of this person, the dragon of the sea. This was his nickname, of course. That in 1881 he started refusing to transport slaves to be sold south of Brazil. So and then he started the movement of abolishing the slavery in the country.
Okay, so the name of the complex, it comes from there. We're gonna walk around, show you everything that we can show you. It looks from outside like it's a huge complex.
So the complex has a museum. So this is the contemporary museum that you can go inside. But unfortunately today it's closed. So they're changing expositions. You cannot go visit, unfortunately. But the complex has museums, has planetarium right here. Like there is a center for events, that all of that we are going to try to show you.
This bridge is very nice. As you walk in, it gives you kind of an optical illusion. And, there is this bridge here, and then when you turn, there is this image on the wall. So I just looked at the image at some point. I got a bit confused. I was like, okay, what happened? There was a bridge and then it continues, but it's a wall. But it's a very, very nice optical illusion, no? It creates.
We're gonna show the image like from there, from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like be
when we go to the end, we turn the camera and maybe it's even nicer from the other angle,
it's
no?
gonna look even longer.
Yeah. Wow.
Like endless.
Beautiful. Very nice touch. So then there are also, as Mariana mentioned, so many different places that you can go to. There is the coffee tower. And another thing that's very interesting about Fortaleza is, from what I have seen so far, different cities that we have been to, usually it's only written in Portuguese, maximum Spanish also as translation. Here I see a lot of English written, even on the road, on the highway when you're driving. The signs, they all have English written under them.
But
which
actually North Americans and the biggest population of foreigners, they are here in Fortaleza.
Yeah, that's why we mentioned that a lot of international tourists, they come here.
Yeah, but North Americans, it's like they come here the most.
Mm-hmm. So now let's see. This is so interesting. At the end, the rest of the bridge is actually just a picture on that wall, but from this angle it looks like the bridge just continues and it's endless. Very nice touch. Beautiful.
That's a public library, and also it's part of this complex. This library has around 70,000 books, and it's used by a lot of students and everybody that wants to do the research, and they use all the services that the public library can offer. So this is a little square, that you can see the architecture, and they're very traditional and buildings from the colonial time. But this is a square, they do a lot of events. If there is some a gastronomy event, and for foods, for traditional and local food with music, everything is done down there. So here's the planetarium, like also another building that they have in this complex, and actually is one of the most modern in Brazil, with German technology, and apparently it's the only one that you can actually see all the 7 colors of the rainbow that they can project here inside. And another very cool thing about this place is that 90% of all the activities, they are free. So people can bring, everybody can bring their family, like kids, and then most of the activities are for free.
It's a huge complex. We're here on a Tuesday morning. Actually, it's around noon. But it looks like a lot of the halls and the places, they're closed at this time. That's why we couldn't go inside or see any of the exhibitions, but you just get a feeling of the size of the complex and so many different activities that can be done. There is a theater, there's cinemas, there's shows. As Mariana mentioned, there's a planetarium. So many different things. And then on the side also, all of these like little buildings, the wall of the other one at the end, everything has a very nice artistic touch.
That's a theater, like,
wow.
so.
Open theater. Very nice. Let's go around and show you from the other side. Nice. So they can sit here, and down there is the stage, and right next door is the library.
And I believe maybe the acoustic here also might be interesting.
Oh yes.
The way it's built.
Mm-hmm.
Probably you can actually sing from down there, or just talk, and then the voice gets, like, if you want to echo, or if you want to recite a poem, you can.
Everybody will hear without speaking.
Yeah. Yes.
There's some shops also for like souvenirs and stuff here, but again, at this time they're all closed. Okay, after the cultural center, another place that you absolutely have to visit is the cathedral, which we are going to show you now.
This is the Metropolitan Cathedral of Fortaleza. It took to complete the work 40 years, beginning in 1938, and it was inaugurated in 1978. It can accommodate 5,000 people, and its towers reach 75 meters high. The French architect Georges Mounier signed the draft eclectic style with a predominance of neo-Gothic, with references to the Cologne Cathedral in Germany and very similar to the CEART Cathedral in France. Saint José, or Saint Joseph, is the saint linked to the cathedral, which is also known as the Metropolitan Cathedral of Fortaleza.
All right. After visiting the cultural center and the cathedral, we are now at this place called CEART. It could be the art that belongs to the state of Ceará or Center of Art, but it has this name, CEART, and it is located in front of this large, beautiful square. There are some other buildings on the side also for different activities. We're gonna go inside and see what it has to offer. We had heard that we have to come and visit this place because it is worth it.
They have a lot of items for decoration for the house, like interior design. Like I can see a lot of things that you can buy to put in the house, like, and beautiful. And I don't know if you watched the previous video from us from Martins. We visit a typical house in the northeast.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Here there is a representation of the house, like all in wood.
That is so cute.
It's the same thing. The wood oven, the window by there, then the table close to it, exactly
Everything.
the same house.
Yeah, and it looks like a very nice presentation also, the way it's done. It's not clouded, it's not a lot of clutter. Everything is presented well, I think. And as I mentioned, these are all done by the artists of the state of Ceará. Yeah.
It was designed by them, but in the clay.
Yeah, it's
so
all
beautiful.
clay, beautiful. The whole, I think it's the set or maybe just the big one. It's 106 reais.
When I see places like this, I feel like having a house, so I can buy a lot of things here to put in the house, but not yet.
No.
But if you want nice like pieces to put in the house, this place, and you are in Fortaleza, this place is very nice.
Yeah, and pieces that are not like mass produced, that you find it everywhere. No, these are unique. And most of them, I assume, handmade, no?
Yeah, they're all by like artists from like the state of Ceará, and the artist and the art, like they are like selected to be here, to be exposed here. Yeah. It's not everybody that can come.
No, you have to be
here.
good enough that they recognize your products.
Yes, very nice. It's worth it. And if you have a house and looking for decoration, here's a place.
And this is something that I'm always tempted to do, to run through the birds and make them all fly. No, don't do that, let them be. So I mentioned before that all around the CEART that we visited, there are different buildings, and I thought some of them are for some exhibitions and some other activities, but this one in particular, it's also the office of the First Lady of the state of Ceará. Basically the wife of the governor of the state. So this building is her office, and there are other buildings also in the back, and it's very nice and cute. Each one has a different color and design. I think it's because each one belongs to a different organization. And this is a coffee shop that we will talk to you about in our video of food and restaurants in Fortaleza. Make sure you watch that video too. We came to another area of the city because there is a theater that we wanted to visit, but the guided tour will start in like a couple of hours from now. We are at the theater called Theatro José de Alencar, which is a theater that is very, very famous, very well known in Fortaleza, and it's definitely worth visiting. Even just the architecture alone and the design is really, really beautiful. So the way you can visit it is you can just walk in and it's free. You can just walk around on your own, but the problem is you will not be able to go inside any of the rooms. When you want to go inside and see the rest of the place, it has to be with a tour guide. And we have around 1 hour still to wait for the guided tours to start. Also, we were told that the tour will take around 30 to 40 minutes and you have to pay. Each person was 10 reais, so in total we paid 20, and they give you these stickers that you have to put, which means you have paid for a guide, and you can just walk around, roam around, that's not a problem. So we just started our guided tour. This lady here, she's the tour guide. She's explaining everything. Basically, the building was built in 1910, and where we are standing now, which is the main courtyard of the theater, it used to actually be a fountain, water fountain, but now it does not exist anymore. A lot of the metal work that you can see around and the railings and everything else, these were brought here directly from Glasgow, from Europe. And even the design and the way it's written, for example, in Portuguese, teatro, which means theater, does not have an H, but at that time, the design and everything else was inspired by the French influence, and that's why even the name, it's written with H, which has that influence, the European influence, and especially French influence at that time in Fortaleza. Another interesting thing is the color of the metal. It used to be more like golden, but now they have painted on top of it. We don't know why, but this is not the original color. Also, the glass that you see, the colorful glass, is not also the original one. Here, because of the heat, the color fades away, so now they have used some acrylic products just to maintain the original design, but it is not the original glass that was used. Now we're going to go to another room. The design is amazing. Even the details in the ceiling, you can see there's so much attention to details. Beautiful design, and definitely you can see the European touch. This room that we are in now is actually is called foyer, which in English it means like a waiting room. The area that at the time people from the upper class would come and wait here, listening to the music and just to hang out with each other, wait until the show was until it was the time to go for the show across the hall where the theater is actually located. The ceiling, the artwork of the ceiling is actually the original one, as I showed before, but it has been fixed a little bit and repaired a little bit, some parts of it, but it is the original one. Also here, I'm not sure if I can show it properly. It's in the ceiling, but it is written 6th of June 1908. This is when the work for the construction of the theater started, and then at the end of the hall on this side there is another date, 17th of June 1910, which is when the theater was inaugurated. Also on the wall you see a lot of designs that really refer to the time where it was being built. The star, it refers to the military that had a lot of influence at the time. The leaves on the side refer to the coffee production that at the time in Brazil it was a very, very strong part of the economy. The letters JTA refer to the name of the theater, which is Theatro José de Alencar. And on top you also have CE, which refers to the state of CEART. These are done after, and the only part that is the original part is this part that is protected by the glass, and as you can see it is a little bit like finer, the color is a bit different, and it shows that it is much older. We left the room that is called foyer, and now we are going to go to the main part that is actually the theater itself. This is the interior of the theater. It is very, very interesting how the levels are divided and actually refer to the different social classes as well. At the time, this floor here, it was dedicated to the upper class of the society, with the best seat, which is this one in the middle, for the governor. And the seats that are there, the chairs actually, are actually original ones, exactly from the time. The rest, they are replicas, like these ones, they have been replaced. But the one that is there, it was always reserved for the governor or like somebody that was very, very famous, the highest, somebody that had the most importance in the hall, let's say. The one down there, this was like they would call it at the time as an emerging class, which would be like the upper middle class now, and the lower floor was just for the normal people. Sorry for the noise, because today at 5 o'clock there is a show, so they are preparing the stage actually while we are here visiting the theater. But just to wrap it up, that was like the normal class, then emerging class they would call it, or let's say upper middle class, and then the higher class. The one on the top, believe it or not, because at the time it would get very hot and the heat would go up, that floor was the hottest, and only like the workers and the laborers would actually be able to sit there on the top floor. Now it's not the case, because now it has AC obviously, and it's very comfortable in here. The ceiling also is a beautiful artwork. The light fixture also, it refers to the sun, and it's kind of like a replica, as if like it's the sky and the angels and the sun in the middle. So once again, from this angle you can see this was the part that was reserved, and these chairs are the replica, as I mentioned. This was the best seat in the house that would be actually for the governor at the time, and these chairs are actually the original ones from the time. And as you can see, the stage is right there in front, so this would be the best seat in the house. And now we came down to the first floor, or the lowest class, let's say, of the society, where they would enter and they would sit. So just to see the view from this angle also, and from this level as well. This is the lowest level. Honestly, when you come here, even at the time, even if you were from a lower class, my God, the amount of history and art that you had access to in the society is amazing, amazing. Really, the details, the design, as I mentioned before, all the metal work, all the railings here and the staircases, everything was actually manufactured in Glasgow, Scotland, and then shipped here to assemble it and to put it in place. So this was the amount of attention to details that went into this place, and still more than 100 years after, still standing. So as we just leave the theater, which is right behind us from these doors, you come here, and this one is like a courtyard that was done after, in the 70s and 80s decade. And all of these places that you see red tiles on the floor, there used to be water, and in the center there used to be fountains. Here they also have a stage that they still do events these days from time to time, and the wall in the back is actually the biggest green wall in the city of Fortaleza. There are different types of trees also planted in this courtyard. And the most important one is this tree, which is called Pau do Brasil, which is where the name of the country comes from. Brazil, or as they say, Brasil. The name comes from this tree that is also planted in this courtyard right next to the complex where the theater is located. Now we came in from the back door. Basically, we got this special pass. You know, when in the concert you go, the backstage pass you get. We came here, and basically we are under the stage. This is the stage, this is the support that supports the stage, all of these columns, and all the other systems that have to be available here to support all the programs and all the shows that they do. This is the front section of the stage, and as you can see, it is supported with I-beams and more columns that are stronger, and it looks like it could be moved a little bit, not that much. It comes down, to the same level as this floor that we're standing. Oh, nice. Yeah, and the rest, as I showed, is the rest of the stage that is in the back. Under the stage, on the side also, you have these rooms that belong to the artists. When they come to perform, they could go to these little rooms to rest, to get ready, put on makeup and everything else. So this is where they stay. There's the bathroom also over there, and the shower. Huge AC also, which is needed here.
in this room you can actually get some costumes for Carnival. Like you just need to give like a donation of like maybe 2 reais, 5 real, and then you can use the costumes for Carnival.
We just finished the tour of the theater, and my God, it was well worth it. We had to wait almost like 2 hours, no?
Yes, for the guided tour.
Yeah, for the guided tour because we were early. But it was well worth it. Absolutely amazing. A lot of information inside the theater was beautiful. Really, definitely worth it.
Just pay attention, they are closed on Monday and Tuesdays. So come like from Wednesday to Sunday. And also if you want to have like a guided tour, they have a specific time for that. So just see on their own website that you have the time. So you can actually come and don't waste time the way we wasted.
Yeah, we didn't know, but it was worth it. This ends this video. We really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.